Hey everyone, I wanted to record this real quick for you, just some teaching basics, because it's always good to review things, and this is a helpful guide that I have come up with over the years. So if you think of your learner as a plant or like a flower that you're trying to grow, essentially there's four things that they need to grow well, right? So soil would be the first one. Um, and that is the learning environment that we try to create for them. And that a lot of that work, hopefully, is for our learners at least, is happening before they even get to us, because we are orienting them and kind of finding out what their goals are for the rotation beforehand. But again, this is always good stuff to revisit on their first day. Really, just finding out more about them personally. What are their goals for the rotation? Making them feel comfortable in the space, like simple things like letting them know where they can get food, where they can go to the bathroom, everyone's name, things like that. Just the simple stuff that anybody would want to know when they're trying to learn something. And so, as best we can create that environment, the better. Other things I like to do, like talking about things outside of medicine. So if I have a team, just like coming to rounds with like a question of the day and being like, what's everyone's favorite food, or where's somewhere everyone would like to go someday for a trip. So kind of making connections between your team members will only make a better learning environment. So that's, I think, step one. That's the base of your learning. You need that before you can get anywhere else. Secondly, obviously, you need content, stuff that you want the learner to learn. We have a bevy of resources, and they also have lots of books and resources on their computers, etc. But I think for our purposes, the main thing we offer them is patient interactions. So as many interactions you can get, the better. I think it's always better to learn from a patient. So just trying to maximize the number of cases that they're thinking about. That's the best we can do for them. And if you need creative ways to think about that, just let me know, and I can help. But beyond that, obviously you can direct them to our website or articles or reading. But truly, the best way for them to learn is to have patient interactions. So, but you don't want too much or too little. So there can be obviously too few interactions, and they're not getting enough. And you can also give them way too many patients, and then they're just drowning. And so you have to kind of titrate it to each learner and see what number of patients works best for them. Then you have to trim your tree, right, or your flower, just to make sure that the bad is getting trimmed off and the good is being molded in the way you want it to. So I think daily feedback is key. Just telling them what they're doing well, what they're not doing well. Really, even after every patient interaction or every presentation, you can take a couple seconds and just tell them, hey, this, or ask them, how did that feel? And then see what they, learners are often much harder on themselves than we are. So just asking them, how do you think it's going? And then using that as a jumping off point. I also like the feedback mnemonic CAT. So C is for continue these things. A is for avoid, or avoid, this is, some things I think you should avoid that you're doing. And then T is for try, and I think that's the biggest one, is like, you're ready to try this new thing. So here's something you can try with your next interaction. So that T is critical, and I don't think all feedback mnemonics get to that try thing, or some suggestions for next time. So make sure you're always giving them something to try the next time. And we also have a lot of feedback rubrics on the website if you need help with feedback. And then the last one I like to mention is role modeling, or the sun, right? Your plant needs the sun or something to grow towards. So I think it's useful. It doesn't have to be I love autonomy, but I also think every now and then it's nice to pull your learner aside and say, hey, this is a difficult patient. Why don't you let me show you how I would handle this situation. And so they could see someone that's been doing it for their whole career, how they would navigate this difficult situation, or just at the beginning of rotation, just be like, okay, I know you guys are ready, but let me just show you how I like to do this once, and then it gives them something to follow. And I think sometimes you get a lot farther if you just give them where you want them to start at, and you show it to them. It's one thing to say it, but to show them, I think, is really important right at the beginning. And obviously the residents can be role modeling for the students, and the fellows can role model for the residents, but you should, if you don't have those layers in between, then you should be the role model for your learners. But that's it. Just quick 5 minutes. Those are my kind of highlights for how to maximize your teaching. And I just like this image because it reminds me, it's kind of easy when you think of them as a plant: soil, water, trimming, and sun. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.